Hello, Samantha Furness here with the Chapter 4 video response on listening and human communication. The first question is, how can you tell when someone is listening to you? You can tell when someone's listening to you when they're focused on what you're trying to say and they try to clarify and rephrase what you're saying so that they can understand better what you're saying. You can also tell if someone's listening if they use back-channeling cues, which are like, yeah, totally, I see. And it really lets the speaker know that the listener is listening because it's giving little responses to what they're saying. Someone who is really listening is avoiding distractions and is really focusing on what the speaker is going to say next. And they're really just genuinely focused on the speaker and not on anything that's going on around them. The second question is, how does it make you feel when someone is not listening to you? I would say that it makes me feel frustrated and annoyed, even maybe unimportant, because it feels like the person that I'm talking to doesn't care what I have to say. And it's hurtful. It really makes you feel unimportant. And the third question says, please describe in detail a time when you felt you weren't being listened to and you were saying something very important. Who was the interaction with? How could you tell they weren't listening? Did their failure to display appropriate listening behaviors affect your relationship with them? Did it affect your motivation to tell them important things in the future? And a time when this has happened to me is when I work in a restaurant, family-owned restaurant, and I have I technically have three bosses, and I'm the only other manager. Two of my bosses were arguing and fighting and just getting a little out of hand in front of the other employees, and one of them was definitely the aggressor in it. And after their altercation, and I kind of pulled him to the side and I was like, listen, you shouldn't really do that in front of the other employees. I realize that that's your dad and everything, but you really shouldn't talk that way to him in front of the other employees, because then they think it's okay for them to talk to him that way or act a type of way towards him. And the way he responded, or way I could tell that he wasn't listening, I guess, was he really just crossed his arms. He kind of looked down at his phone and just didn't give any kind of like back-channeling cues, like, okay, whatever. He just really just sat there and kind of shut down. I wouldn't say that it really affected our relationship. We're still able to communicate. It was probably just a day when he just having a bad day and didn't want to hear what I had to say. Did it affect my motivation to tell him stuff? I would say maybe yes, because I don't want to tell him things whenever I know he's in a bad mood or is frustrated, because he's just gonna ignore me and not say what I have to, or listen to what I have to say, or just really just shut down and not even let me talk to him. So I would say yes, that it did affect my motivation. Thank you. That's all I have for Chapter 4.